My name is Eddie C, and welcome to My Positive Podcast. I'll bring you positive stories of people from all walks of life, because everyone has a story to tell.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to MPP, My Positive Podcast. I'm your host, Eddie C. I hope you all had a fine week. I did as well. I want to thank you all for subscribing, those who do subscribe, but please, we can always use some more subscriptions, some more people following the show. So please touch base with me via my Facebook page, My Positive Podcast, or you can come on our website, mypositivepodcast.com. If you got ideas you want to talk about with me, feel free to send me a text also via my Facebook page or my website from My Positive Podcast, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. It would be lovely to expand on the show. Of course, we've been busy now for a few months, and the audience is growing, but I wanted to take it a step further as time goes. And we're also, in order to be able to keep the show going, we're going to eventually create a donation button. It's not, you don't have to, but every little bit will help us to try to keep the show going as long as possible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've got three wonderful guests once again on the show. First of all, a young lady who is busy with working for the police, doing some special secretive work, which she'll tell you more about later in a certain detail. I have another buddy of mine. We grew up together as neighbors, actually, and he's been a journalist and photographer for many years for the news in the Midwest area. And then I have my third guest. She does a lot of organizing and managing things for artists, but also creating special events. And she's busy now with a special cocktail drink, which will be coming out soon. So if you're curious about their stories, tune in and stay positive.
My name is Eddie C, and you're listening to My Positive Podcast.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my first guest on this week's show about Worthwhile is a very sweet young lady. I met her actually via Facebook, like I meet a lot of my friends, in fact, that come on the show. She's working in administration for a company, and she'll tell you more about that herself in a minute. She's also loves a lot of things like cooking. She likes good food. She likes the simple things in life, as she says. She has this fantastic dog named Rocky that she makes certain posts about sometimes on her Facebook page, and she'll tell more about that as well. Please welcome my first guest, Miss Sabine van Campenhout. Hi, Sabine. How are you?
Hi, Eddie. Fine to hear you. I'm fine. Thank you.
Great. I really appreciate you coming on the show so that you can share a little bit of your story about yourself. And I'm so curious because can you tell our audience a little bit about your work?
Yes. I'm working at the police office, but I'm on administration. And next month I work at the same place for 30 years.
Wow.
It's my, yes. It's my first and maybe, I hope, my last work.
So that's been your whole main career. We're actually been doing administration for the police. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Can you tell us just a tiny bit about it? Not anything personal, but the general thing, because you're administration. So is that something with casework, or is that something?
Yes, something like that. Yeah,
okay, wow.
Many cases put in the computer. Yes.
Well, I know because of security reasons and so forth with your job, we won't go into too much detail about that. But I do know you have this actually very, I guess you could say, sort of Lassie, Rin Tin Tin kind of story, because you have a dog named Rocky.
Yeah.
And the people that have been following you on Facebook has sort of like followed this whole story, because I think during the corona, you were telling me that you had the chance to keep him because the owner wasn't wasn't able to maintain keeping him. And so you were asked if you could keep him for a while. And there's this fantastic friendship that's grown between you two. Can you tell us some more about that?
Yeah, it's my best friend now. Yes, it's amazing. He's a cute dog. He's almost 3 years old now, and it's such a good boy.
So instead of man's best friend, lady's best friends.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wow. He's a German Shepherd, right?
No. It's not German. It's in Netherlands. Mechelse Malinois.
He's sort of part of the Shepherd family.
Family of the shepherds. Yes. Yeah.
He's a very photogenic dog. I've seen a lot of photos of him
Yeah.
on Facebook that you post of him.
Yeah.
Does he have his own Instagram account yet?
No, but it's just a great idea. Maybe I can think about it. Yes.
We had a guest on recently, and she had I don't think it was an Instagram account, but she had a special account also for her dog as well. So she posts a lot of photos from
nice.
there. I think from our show from last week. So if you get a chance, you should check that show out. Tell us a little bit more about some of the hobbies that you do, because I know I see you posting all kind of nice, good-looking dishes on Facebook with your phone, that you take a lot of pictures with your telephone, and so I always see it on the logo. But you post a lot of things. I know food is something that you really like a lot. That's the special little small things. Can you tell us what are some of your favorite dishes that you have?
Oh, mostly it's the healthy food. I love it well, but I love many things, like spaghetti or or sometimes I like to try something special. I think so. What I got, and then I think and imagine. Okay, that. Yes, I like to try something to cook.
Most of the time you're cooking yourself, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But I saw different recipes, and you do a lot with vegetables, I noticed as well.
Yes.
Are there any particular favorite dishes that you have? You say, that's mine. That's.
Yeah, I love very much wok.
The cooking the wok.
Kind of cooking the wok. Just with vegetables, noodles, chicken. That's and many spices. Yes, that's my kind of food.
Okay, that's my territory. Cooking in the wok. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If I can't walk it, I won't want it. This is what I'll say.
But I have also it names Thermomix, and it's a great machine. A friend of mine, he told me you must buy that. It's ideal. Cooking for the single man, or yes.
For single people,
and it's so I'm cooking very much with that. Yeah.
All right. And anything, and also any particular that you like to cook with that? Is there a special recipe?
You can also many things. Some like the desserts, like coffee, special coffees. It's a whole.
Do you have a particular favorite that for yourself that you like?
My favorite. I try so many that I that I not can imagine something that's my favorite. I like a lot of things. It's very difficult to choose one. I love eating, so. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. A good meal, being able to appreciate a good meal tells a lot also about a person.
Yeah.
That's important, because that's what you feed yourself is also how you live your life. So you I've seen your recipes, and a lot of things are very colorful. So you must lead a very colorful lifestyle. So that's very good as well.
Mhm.
So you're also, I know, into music, not as a musician,
No.
but I know you like a lot of different kinds of
Yes.
music. Is there any particular style of music that you say this is mine, my favorite? Do you have a favorite style, or is it like your cooking? Is that all
Yeah.
also variable?
Yes, I like to hear many things, but I like most of all the music from the 80s or I like something like jazz or songs with meaningful.
Lyrics must mean something.
Yes.
Okay. You have written on your wall, never stop dreaming. Is there something behind that particular statement?
Oh yeah, yeah. I came from far. I believe you never stop dreaming because all you dreaming of can be true. And I'm happy with me now. So I have many things, dreams. I have many dreams, like. I dreamed of my car. I have a little Fiat, and no, I dreamed of it. And yeah, it's possible to make it true, but you must believe in it. Yes.
The power, the law of attraction is something very much
Yes.
into what you believe, which is a great thing. I have that as well
Yes.
about the law of attraction. I believe in that as well.
Mhm.
You were mentioning about going back to the dream
Yeah.
thing because you have a sort of a very strong spiritual minded way of thinking around things. So I was wondering, like your story about Rocky, your dog. Now he's
Yeah.
now actually your dog now. In fact, you've been able to keep him, and he's always by your side. That's something that I see on so many photos,
Yeah.
like now as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Like now, yes. Yeah.
that's fantastic. How is he towards other people? Is he really just clinging to you, or is he also open towards other people, or is it feel from
Yes.
this is my boss and nobody comes near me?
No. On his territorium, yes, he is a little bit, but once you came in and always he wants to hug you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very, very warm,
Yes,
very
yes.
warm
The
animal.
neighbors like him also. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Getting back to the spiritual thing. I know you have a lot of little quotes sometimes that you also post, and you read a lot of my quotes as well on my page because I post every morning a daily dose of positivity, as I call it.
Yes.
But I was wondering, in your time, because you said you've been through a
Yes,
road, and you
I-
mentioned to me in our pre-interview that you had a sort of you referred to her as your lucky coach. Can you tell us how that came about? And
Yes, I met her. Yeah, she was a friend of mine, and I had not a good feeling, and yeah, I don't know how or what to do. And then I asked her for help, and yes, and she learned to me it's all in the mindset. Mindset, it's everything, and I changed my mindset because she gives me tips and tricks, and also, and yes, I'm happy now, and I believe in all. It's all in the mindset.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. A
Yeah.
lot is in the way we think, and my personal idea
Yeah.
is that if you believe in negative things coming around you, you're going to attract those things. If you believe in positive things happening around you,
Yes,
you're going to get those to you.
absolutely.
Which is one of the reasons why I like to do this show because I
Yeah.
like to attract a lot of positivity, not only to me but to my listeners, and the positive energy between the people I interview and my guest on the show. I want to have a nice, strong, positive thing because I believe if everybody took 5 minutes a day, all at the same time, just to think of one positive thought, how much energy would be put out
Yeah.
if you think about it. It's just some food for thought,
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we're getting pretty close to our
Yeah.
last question.
I believe.
Our theme this week is about worthwhile. And my question to you is, what does worthwhile mean for you?
Oh, worthwhile means to me all little things that makes a big difference, like enjoy in the moment with friends, love, respect, joy, and happiness, and good friends. That's important. It's to me.
And good food.
Yeah. And something to drink.
All right, and a
Yes.
good drink. So I would like to ask you as well, what would you advise the younger generation to do to be worthwhile or have things in their life that are worthwhile for them? Because we just had the pandemic behind us. Of course, things are getting better, but we have a sort of new normal, which is will be coming back. What would be your advice to younger people today?
Oh, I like to say my quote again, and never stop dreaming, and most of all, never give up. There are so many things to enjoy and give love, respect. It's there are so little amazing things, and that can make you happy very much. Never give up and don't stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming.
All right. Well, on those words, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show. And I wish you a lot of love, a lot of luck, and a lot of happiness, and for all good food.
Thank you. The same for you. It's nice to be in your show. Yes, it was an honor to me.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And I see that you're also coming to one of my concerts pretty soon that I'm doing with my duo Soulful, which is wonderful because we're playing in your hometown.
Yes,
We'll be playing it.
indeed.
Right,
Yes.
right.
We meet again there.
That's wonderful. Well, looking forward to it, and we'll definitely have a drink at that concert.
That's a
after
great
the concert is
idea.
over.
That's a great idea.
Okay. Well, you take care again, and we'll see each other soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
This is My Positive Podcast with Eddie C.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my second guest is a very dear friend of mine. We grew up together on the same street, basically in our, let's say, early youth years. And now he's living in Atlanta, Georgia, working as an account representative. For the last 28 years, he was also a member of the U.S. news media, working as a reporter and a photographer in St. Louis, Missouri as well. Please welcome Mr. Bryce Thomas. How you doing, buddy?
I am good, Eddie. It is good to see you and hear you and talk to you, man. We go way back.
We go way back. I know there's quite a time difference. It's 4:00 in the morning here.
Yeah.
And for you, it's like 10 there.
Exactly.
Appreciate you coming on, man. So that's wonderful that you're here. Well, let's get right into the questions.
My pleasure.
Tell our listeners a little bit about your background and how you ended up in Atlanta. It seems like everybody from Gary seems to be moving to Atlanta, Georgia these days.
Yeah, there are a lot of us down here. We actually have Gary nights. But in all actuality, Eddie, and I don't know if you knew this, my parents were born and raised here.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah. They were born and raised here and moved to Gary in like 55. So I'm the only person in my family born in Gary.
Okay. All right.
So this is where we always came, on our vacations and things of that sort. So this was like our second home.
Okay, so your roots are actually, basically coming as far as family's concerned from there, right? Oh, wow. That's. Can you tell a little bit about what happened all the years? We haven't seen each other in many years because I left Gary, of course, back in 1975, and,
Right.
came back for a visit once in a while. But of course, a lot of things changed. And okay, outside of the fact that it's home, was it always the plan to go to Atlanta, Georgia?
Well, after I graduated from high school, I ended up attending Indiana State University in Terre Haute. And the thing about our great high school, West Side, and I guess I was rare in that I knew from like 8th grade over at Edison Middle School that I wanted to get into journalism. There was something about the news. Our TV news came from Chicago. So something had happened. And so when I got to West Side, they actually had a television department.
Right.
So I started with Mr. Busby, and then he left, and Mr. Hayes came to teach the class my final 2 years. And he actually attended Indiana State University.
Okay.
So that's what got me there. He taught me how they did things. So I kind of had an edge when I got there. So started working at the little TV station on campus, just running the studio camera, finished my major, graduated. And 3 days, my last week of college, the dean told me, hey, there's a TV station in Terre Haute looking for somebody.
Oh.
Are you interested?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I said, of course. I'm about to graduate. So I had a part-time, they had a part-time position as a production assistant, and then a full-time position in news.
Okay.
Of course, I'm going to take the full-time position, and it was a reporter's position. And I didn't know a lot about it. I learned on the fly. So I came in as a news reporter. But in a small market like Terre Haute, Indiana, you shoot your own story. So that's how I got into the videography end of it. You write, you edit, you shoot, you do it all.
All right.
So I did that. But, Eddie, to be honest with you, it wasn't right with my spirit, the reporting aspect. I'm always been low key.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, people knowing me, Justin wasn't my cup of tea. And God said, just stop the reporting aspect, as prestigious and people thought you were making all this money. And I just started focusing on the photography end of it as a videographer, just shooting the news.
Okay.
And in a year, I got a job in Springfield, Missouri, double my salary. A year later, I started working for the NBC affiliate in St. Louis, KSDK. Great station, man. One of the best in the country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How do you go about that? So now you did the journalism part, but that wasn't your thing. So you decided to get more in this videography than the photography. But
Right.
Are you still doing a lot of photography as well on the side, outside of your, just sitting behind a video camera?
The only thing I do now, I did it so long, I'm not going to be carrying an old heavy can. I'm not that young anymore. But I'm in the media ministry at my church. So I run Crane, Boom. Occasionally I'll do some freelance work at the local stations, or if somebody has a production that they want to do, they know what I can do. So occasionally, but I've kind of you got to understand news, man. I did a lot of years of blood and guts. Man,
Yeah, I can dig it. I can dig it.
And for a while, it's been exciting.
Bleeds and leads. That's a good one.
Especially in a major city, there's just a lot of homicides and murders and robberies and fires. But then there was also the good stuff, man. I've been in, a lot of sporting events, World Series, All-Star games. The St. Louis Cardinals were big. Here in Atlanta, I covered major sports. I was at the Super Bowl on the field, the Olympics. A lot of politics. I covered a couple conventions, national conventions, was on the campaign trail. So I had a lot of great experiences, man, in that field. God really blessed me in there.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Are there any particular stories that kind of made a big influence during your career, or one of a few stories that you had to cover, that where you said, like, I will never forget this,
Oh, yeah. One stands out right off the bat. I was at the time I was working for the Fox affiliate in St. Louis, KTVI. Early morning shows. We were doing our early morning shows. I came in at 4:30, worked till 12. So we do live shots for the early news. So we had done our morning live shots, and I was out getting breakfast.
Right.
Got a call on the police scanner. There's a fire, with people trapped. And I was like a block away.
Oh, wow.
I go down there, excited because it's breaking news, adrenaline, grab my camera, run out, and EMTs have 3 little girls laid out on the front grass.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I got to get in there. I'm heartless at that time. I'm a photographer, you know.
Right.
Got to act like a doctor and not get emotionally involved. Get your shots. So I'm shooting them, working on them, and I heard one of them say they're gone. But it was weird because they weren't burned. They were dressed for school. Their hair was nice and neat.
Mm-hmm.
But I will never. That was August 1st, 1981. I'll never forget that day. Those 3 little girls died in that fire.
Oh, wow.
So on that end, that's something I'll never forget. And that was the beginning of the end for news. It was like, you got to keep all that stuff inside of you. And it does build up, and it just gets tired because news actually changed from the time I started in 79. It was really news. You cover the news. Then it turned into more just blood and guts and then infotainment. So it got away from the true news aspect.
What is your idea about the way the media has changed over the years? In certain ways, of course, it's brought the world kind of closer, but I think it's also separated us as not only as countries, but it's sort of made everybody kind of individualistic because everyone has a smartphone or some kind of tablet or something, and a large part of our society spends 90% of the day with their phones in their hands, especially with a lot of the youth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's truly changed, smartphones and the thing. But I'm from a traditional news background. When I started, you had to just get both sides of the story, and present just the facts.
Right.
But now everybody gets their information from either that source, and that's it, that source, and you don't have to really tell I guess I can tell the whole truth.
Right.
That's where it's really changed. A lot of falsehood. The news is not about truth.
Right.
These days, in most instances.
It's a lot of manipulation going on. Yeah, there's a lot of manipulation going on.
Right. It's mind games, and that's why it's very... Matter of fact, one of the things in research, when I used to write my news stories and in journalism, we used to have to write to a 6th grade reading level. That's how we had to write our news stories.
Wow.
As if you're talking 6th grader. And it has not changed. A lot of people are really not educated. So they will believe anything that you write or they hear. And basic psychology will tell you that if you say the same thing over and over, they hear the same thing over and over, they start believing it, especially if they don't try to research for themselves.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that's the biggest change. It's to either watch that. You don't want to hear what the other person is saying. If you watch this station, you're bad. Because I watch them all. A very little bit of one or two of them, but I want to know what they're doing. It's like sports.
Absolutely.
You want to scout your opponent, or you want to know what the other people are doing.
Absolutely. That's right. Yeah. All right. That's fantastic, man. I know you're also involved a lot with your church. So you want to tell a little bit about some of the things you're doing there?
Sure, absolutely. I attend Red Hope Christian Church in Decatur, Georgia. Our pastor is Reverend Dr. Cynthia Hale. My wife and I just celebrated our 20th year at the church. I started with my sister, of course, you know her. She was there when I moved to Atlanta. She was a member of the church and got me there. But I am now a pastoral care elder. I work with several ministries. Outreach ministry where we feed the homeless.
Right.
I had been a deacon for 6 years. Now I'm an elder in my second year. Just working with the flock, bringing them along, because I find in this world, this world will beat you up. You have to have something more than you, to get through. And I know from experience how I have benefited from my relationships in the church. Because I'll be honest with you, Eddie, man, until I came to this church out there in the world,
absolutely,
you couldn't trust nobody. You think everybody was against you. And answering my phone, what you need? Everybody needs something. It wasn't until I got to that church that I was really able to open up and talk to other men about my stuff, my real dirt. And not feel judged. And what you do when you do open up, you'll find a lot of people have been through a lot of the same things as you, and you're not alone.
All right.
Because we tend to, as men, we keep things inside. You keep things inside. I had so much stuff built up in me. So now I had learned, you can't tell everybody your stuff, but I have learned, to get that stuff out and confide in somebody. So 2, 3, 4 men, that I can really trust and get honest feedback.
That's very important. It's important to be able to get things off your chest and out of your head, because if you can clear your mind and your emotions about what you're going through, what you're experiencing, instead of boxing it up, it's going to create headspace for you. And it makes you more aware of what's going on around you. Plus also you're able to do the things that you want to do. That's the one thing I've learned over the years as well. And like I said, I came over when I was 19, and I've gone through my life basically, without my, let's say, direct family around me. So you learn quite quickly how to make your choices in life. And so that's very important. It's very important.
Yeah, I mean, you that's why you live and you learn with those experiences, whether they're good or bad. You better get something out of it.
Absolutely.
Learn from it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to make the same mistake 3 or 4 times, maybe twice, but
That's true. Well, we're getting close to our last question. Our theme for this particular show is worthwhile. And I'd like to know, what does worthwhile mean for you?
Man, there's so much in that, man. I've been kind of meditating on that all day. I was thinking that one of the things that we don't get to redeem is time. Time marches on. We can't reclaim that. They talk about in Congress and things about, I want to reclaim my time. Ain't none of that in life. So what I try to do is, and have learned to do, is surround myself with quality people, because my time is valuable, you can't get it back.
That's true.
So birds of a feather flock together. If you keep going to the barbershop, you're going to get a haircut. So, I mentor a lot of men, and one of the things I tell them is just so basic. Just do the next right thing, which means surround yourself with quality people. What is worth your time? What is worth your money? What is worth your efforts? That is crucial. And that's what you focus on. All that other stuff, you may get to it later, but the most important things, that's why you have to focus. Focus on your focus if you have to. Because you end up doing something over here that's not even in your purpose. You'll end up somewhere else down the road because you aren't focused, on what your true task or purpose in life is. So you got to be intentional about it. Got to be intentional. Got to know, because temptation comes all day. I think of this cartoon where Bugs Bunny is on one shoulder and the devil's on the other, and they're in both of,
Right.
So who are you going to listen to? Got to be focused and intentional. Know what's worth your while, what's beneficial, what's going to be or is beneficial to you. That's the road you got to take.
All right, man. What would you give? I mean, you just gave actually basically some advice to a lot of our listeners out there. What does it mean really for you personally?
That means for me, Eddie, is that I don't waste time on foolishness. When I face a situation, which we do multiple times each day, how is it beneficial to me? How is it going to impact my life, in the negative or the positive? Because it's something that I can maybe do a little later, those kind of things. You make so many decisions in the course of a day. If you see somebody who may be homeless asking for a quarter, a quarter's not going to do, but oftentimes it's going to be worthwhile for you to say, hey, how you doing, man? Where you living, man? Where'd you sleep last night? I know a place where, you can go get showered. Do you need an ID? You got to have a plan. If you're sleeping on the street, you have to have a plan to get off of there, because people get comfortable. So if you need an ID so you can get work, you need to make a plan to do that. There are resources out here. There are places that you can go and shower and clean yourself up. that may take you to a labor pool where you can start making money. If you need a GED, there are programs out that will guide you in that direction, because we are not intended to live below our means, man. You know, your life is so valuable and it goes so fast. Everything needs to be compartmentalized. What's important to you? What is worthwhile? What you gonna do? That's the basic question. What you gonna do to make your life comfortable, presentable, especially for your family and yourself?
All right. Well, on those words, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show and, you know, telling your story and being inspirational to a lot of people out there that may be hearing this podcast somewhere in the world. So it was really a pleasure to see you and talk to you again, my friend. We've always we've been like brothers for years, you know. So
absolutely, man. It's good to see you. You know, we used to play music back in the day in each other's basement.
That's right.
And I'm just so proud of you, man. How you just took it and ran with it, and you're doing all these things and using your gifts, man, to bless others with your music, with your photography, all the things. I can tell you a lot of stories about Eddie. I'm telling you, we go way back.
Absolutely.
Man. Again, we're right down the street from you, so I love you, man. I appreciate the invitation, man.
Well, same here, buddy. Same here, bro. Yeah. Well, look, once again, thanks for coming on the show. A lot of love to you and your family. I never met your wife, but I'm sure one day when I get back over to the States again to visit, we'll definitely get together, because Atlanta is definitely on my wish list of places to visit. Yeah. So I will definitely come down and see the whole GI gang.
Come on, man. We'll have a big party for you. Absolutely.
All right, buddy. You take care, huh?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
You too, buddy. Bye-bye.
This is My Positive Podcast with Eddie C.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is a very lovely young lady. We met back in 2013 at a gig, and at that time she was doing some managing for one of the singers from the group Incognito. And since then, she's been doing some other little management things, but she'll tell you more about that later. Please welcome Miss Sheila Messchaert. How you doing, Sheila?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing very fine.
Great. It's been quite a while since we last saw each other.
It has been years ago.
Yes, absolutely. When I was thinking about it, I said, I need to have you on the show because you've been busy with a lot of different things and your adventure continues, you know, and it always surprised me how eager you've always been to get things done. And that's positivity that you throw out in what you do. So I wanted to have you on the show.
Well, thank you for this nice compliment.
Can you tell my audience a little bit about your background, your roots, and how you got, where you are more or less today?
Of course. Well, I was born in Amsterdam, and my mom is Dutch, fully Dutch, and my dad, he is Suriname Chinese. So I'm quite a mix of different parts of the world. I was raised by my mom, and I was always interested in music. So after school, I started to do a hospitality management school, it was. And afterwards, I just wanted to travel. So I went abroad for a year. I went to Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia. So I saw Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos. And then I came back and I wanted to do something different. So I started to work in a restaurant, and afterwards I got a job as an assistant manager in a self-storage company, and it actually wasn't what I wanted to do. So I always went to live music events, and I saw that a band Incognito was doing a show in Holland, and then afterwards I saw that the lead singer was doing a show in Germany. And I was so surprised of the quality of the gig that I thought I have to go to the solo show of that guy. So I went there in Germany, and in the break of their gig, they came to me and they asked me, the band came to me and they asked me, who are you? Where are you from? do you want to have a drink with us afterwards? And I said, well, yeah, we can try. And I asked the singer if he had a lot of gigs already for a solo program. And he said, well, I don't have any. So I told him that I would try to find some places in Holland who would like to book him. And then I find him about 5 to 6 gigs.
Okay.
So his management called me and asked me if I wanted to be her Dutch agency. She was a German woman. And she actually asked me if I wanted to be her colleague. So I thought, well, I can try. This wasn't my goal, but I can try. So, from that, I wanted to organize an event where I could book this singer. And I talked to a Dutch drummer and I asked him, can you help me form a band because I want to do an event? And he said, well, yes, I can, but maybe I've got another project as well where you can do some management things for. So he introduced me to his colleagues, and those were pretty good musicians from Holland. And they were forming a Steely Dan tribute band. And from there, it just went from one thing into the other. So I got in contact with very interesting people in the music industry in Holland. Yeah, from there I got a event location where I wanted to do some events in Almere. We got some money from the, what is it called? Called council? Is that the word?
The city council. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were sent to a building. We could do the restorations. We wanted to build a music studio. We had a very big hall where we could fit in about 700 to 800 people to do some live events. And then we just wanted to start our program. And then the council came back to us and they said, you should close the doors again because you don't have the permission to do events. So we had to stop. And afterwards, I just wanted to do something new. I couldn't find a lot of work anymore because then very shortly afterwards, the lockdown came. So I had to stop. So I find myself a job in the Dutch train industries, train stations. What's it called? The Nederlandse Spoorwegen.
The Dutch Train Transport Company.
That's it. But that stopped as well. And now I'm trying to introduce a new drink, a pre-mixed cocktail.
All right.
And I'm doing that together with a Dutch singer producer. And we're now at the point of getting an investment to launch the drink within a few months, I hope.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
so
it is.
So you went from, let's say, a little bit odd and end jobs to actually doing the management, and you went from there to now where you are with this new project that you're busy with. But you're also a mom of 2 kids, So exactly.
Well.
So how do you combine that? Because your kids are quite young, huh? They're, I think you said 10 and 9 or 11 and 9 or something like that. 10 and 11.
10 and 11, yeah. Well, I got a very nice backup from my family. So I try to plan all my appointments while they're at school. And if that's not possible, there's always a grandma who would love to join the kids and play with them and take care of them when I'm with my
that's
meetings.
Fantastic. That's great. Family support is always important to have that when you get it, especially with
and I'm very grateful for that.
So outside of this one project that you're doing with the new drink, are there any other things that you want to try to explore and discover? What is?
Yeah, I am setting up a new concept for a live event that will be an all-inclusive event, which means that there will be live music all night long from a very good live band. And in between, there will be some tape acts, about 3 per night from well-known Dutch artists. And the live concept actually means that people just pay one price, or the all-inclusive project means that people pay just one price and they will have their entrance, their drinks, and some food as well. It's not like a dinner show because people won't sit down and have a 3-course meal or 4-course meal. They will just get in, listen to some nice music, party all night long, have some snacks, have all the drinks they want to have, and then they go back home. But they needed to have dinner before they come to the party. So it's not a
really
dinner
dinner
show.
show. Snacks, drinks, and fun,
No,
basically.
exactly. And
All
very
right.
good music.
What style of music is it going to be?
Well, my preferences go out to some 60s Motown soul kind of music. But of course, not everybody likes that. I assume there's many people who like
That's
that
mine.
style, but we also want to do some, maybe some rock, maybe some folk music. So we just got to find out what works best. But I think we'll start with some soul and Motown style music.
The old school,
yeah.
all the old school stuff. All right. Well, how did you get interested in the old school stuff? Because you're still quite young.
Well, I always listened to a very wide style of music genres. So yeah, this is just something that got my heart, and I just love the very melodic and also the very high tempo music it can be. So I like disco as well, funky style, and I don't know, I just like it. Maybe I've got an old soul.
Definitely that. Well, I mean, but of course, you must have been influenced as a child around the music as well, or not? From your parents, probably.
Well, not really. I do remember that when my grandfather brought me back home after the weekends I stayed with my grandparents, we were always in the car and listening to some music, and then I heard many songs of Michael McDonald's, for example. So,
Okay.
yeah, I know. I can remember that I always loved that kind of music as well. And next to Michael McDonald, also the Sam Cookes, the Curtis Mayfields that were playing on the radio. It just, I don't know, it just got me.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's the music I grew up with as well. That's really from out my generation. So, Curtis Mayfield, and especially the time with Superfly, and with the four tops, and
wow.
Theme from Shaft and Isaac Hayes stuff, all the old, and of course Motown, coming out the Midwest as well at the same time as the Jackson 5. That's so that was the stuff that I was
Exactly.
born and raised on it, as they say. I've got one more question for you, which is based on our theme, worthwhile. And I would like to know, what does worthwhile mean for you?
That it's worth it to invest my time to find out what the interest is or where the interest comes from. Well, I think worthwhile means for me that if you're interested in something and you want to know more about it, it needs to be worth it to put some time in it, to put some effort in it, to find out what it actually is or how it works or who someone is. You can be interested in people, but also in different subjects or in products. Can be anything, but you need to find a drive to explore.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that for me?
Mm-hmm, of course. Well, to be honest, I always work and think in projects. So that means that, like a while ago, I was finding a new hi-fi system for my home, and I just wanted to know everything about it. What sounds best?
Mm-hmm.
What do I want? What budget do I have? And what can I buy for that? So that was something worthwhile for me in that time.
Mm-hmm. And for you, well, I know for some people, one of my guests, for example, what for her was worthwhile is for example, her dog, and the family and friends. That was for her important. I don't know, for you on the personal side, there must be your kids, I assume, as well, and family.
But of course, my family, my kids, and especially learning my kids a lot about different countries, different cultures is something that I want to put very much effort in.
You being multicultural as well, get to sample and get to know different cultures. Actually, I would recommend that to any parent, to try to get the kids to learn about what else is happening in the world. And today it's a lot easier because we have now the social media, which in many ways has brought the world closer together. It's also made a lot of people more individualistic, but if you look at the positive side of it, it has brought the world a bit closer as far as being able to find out something which is happening in different parts of the world, discovering everything now, today, for example, YouTube is more or less the encyclopedia for a lot of folks.
Very, very true. And I'm just trying to learn my kids that they always need to be very curious about everything. They will discover everything that they want to find out.
Mm-hmm. And that'll be worthwhile for them as well.
I hope so.
All right, Sheila. Well, listen, on that, I'd like to thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing your story a little bit about yourself. And I wish you all the love and success that you deserve in the future with whatever you do.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the invite. It was a pleasure to do this interview with you. And I hope you'll find many, many, many more interesting guests in your show.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You take care of yourself and keep me posted on what's happening with your upcoming projects.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is My Positive Podcast with Eddie C.
Well, I hope you enjoyed my 3 guests for this week and that their stories and our conversations will make things a little bit more worthwhile for you. Speaking of the word worthwhile, let's just pause for a moment and think. It's actually a word that we sometimes take for granted. We don't always think about the little things in our lives that are essential and very important to us. We take them for granted until we don't have them anymore. And I think that's worthwhile to know about. So on those notes, here's my quote.
Worthwhile. All the little things that make a big difference to the quality of your life. Friends, love, joy, and the fun of making a home-cooked meal to share with them. The importance of family support and your faith in what you believe. Opening to different cultures and respect to each other. Staying curious and learning with each day how worthwhile it is to live another day.
Well, that's about it for this show. But before I go, I'd like to thank my guests, Sabine Campenhout, Bryce Thomas, and Sheila Messchaert, for telling their stories and sharing what worthwhile was for them. And remember, don't take things for granted, because one day they might be gone. And I think that advice is definitely worthwhile. Until next time. You can find me on all platforms like Spotify, Android, and Apple. On Facebook, look for My Positive Podcast, and my website is mypositivepodcast.com. You can also contact me via my website or Facebook. A very special thanks to my technical producer, Iswan. This show is a production by Antwerp Podcast Service. My name is Eddie C., and this was MPP, My Positive Podcast. Tune in next week and stay positive.